Good afternoon, this is Jeff at Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at property address 4220 Southeast 130th Avenue here in Portland. I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the home. So right now we're kind of out back. We're in the patio area. We're underneath the covered patio adjacent to the sliding glass door. So you can't miss the clean outs. You got a 3-inch ABS one here in the concrete. You've also got a 4-inch ABS clean out straight out there in the dirt my camera's pointing at. Anyway, we're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We are zeroed out, and off we go here. And this would appear to be a pretty long sewer line. I'm hoping it does a shot out at the side street, but a lot of these are wraparound sewers, so I'm going to keep the camera humming along here till we get out to the main. In the event it is a long sewer line, I'll do most of the looking at things as we come back in. So right there, we just swapped over to 4-inch ABS pipe. And we're making enough turns here. This may very well go out to the street in front. But right out of the gate here, absolutely spotless clean sewer line. That is exactly how you want your line to look right there. And it gets that way and stays that way by essentially one living habit, and that's not putting greases, fats, and oils down your kitchen sink drain. That is the #1 thing that will gunk your pipes up, and it contributes to more blockages out there than almost anything you can do to your sewer line. I like to point it out when people are doing things right. This looks really good. Got some standing water here. Keep in mind, we are way the heck out from the house. Bellies like that at that distance have almost, the likelihood of getting a blockage and a backup out of a belly like that close into the home is already very low, unless you are abusing the line like crazy. At that distance out there, you would have to be flushing insane things down your sewer line. The head pressure that would build after 85 plus feet of pipe fill up is extreme. So anyway, we just swapped over there a moment ago to 6-inch 3034 PVC. Got a little bit of gunks here sitting at the end of the line. I've been doing this 13 years. I've cambered almost 25,000 sewer lines at this point. This thing's a beauty. Whoever installed this did a very nice job doing it. To only have a rinky-dink little belly like that on a line like this, it looks like we're about 100 and we're just about to hit the main here. Almost 130 feet. That is an expertly installed sewer line. There's the main, finally. There we go. So that right there is the main lateral. We're doing a complete vertical drop into the main. We're way out in the road right now. I'm going to pull back to the top of the drop. We're in city responsibility at the moment. That's a pretty deep line by the time you hit the main there. That does, probably a 10-foot vertical fall there once you get out into the middle of the road and just drop straight to the top of the main. Anyway, we're going to let the line drain out here. We'll take another look at things as we come back. Thus far, very, very nice looking sewer line. Alrighty, line's all drained out here at this point. Line goes out to Southeast 130th. The cleanouts give you a decent idea as to kind of the trajectory the line takes through the yard. Then about where that secondary cleanout is at is where the line starts to turn and then head off to the road. Part of the reason I was hoping it was going to the side street is it's just a shorter run and you have a less likelihood for settling issues to occur. That's where the average person, whoever this was, did a great job running this thing. Anytime you get a line this length, my experience, once a line goes over about 100 feet, unless you're up on a hillside with a lot of natural slope and grade, the likelihood you're going to end up with a belly on a line this long is, it's like 80-90% of them. And usually they're far more significant than what we're looking at here. This thing I can hardly, where it's at, positioned in the line, it's hardly worth talking about. So the belly dissipates off right about where the transition's at, somewhere around 88 feet, or just prior to it. I'm going to write 88 just because it's an easier number to write down. It goes right up to the transition. And I had a bathtub running full bore there, which will exaggerate. This thing is teeny tiny. At its worst point so far, we're talking about 1/4 of an inch of standing water here. If you got this spot to block up here, you'd be abusing your sewer line so hard that you would be blocking everywhere before you got to this point. That little thing right there would have essentially zero bearing on flow and functionality. You can see the line is spotless clean. I would not expect to see any blockage evidence there or anything out of something that tiny. And for reference, I don't even consider repairs until there's at least an inch of standing water that's static with no water running at all for a minimum of 5 feet. And generally speaking, at this point in my career, I think I mentioned already, I have 13 years now, about 25,000 lines. Rarely do I recommend repairs on bellies anymore unless they're close proximity to the home, and generally speaking in very rough pipe materials like cast iron and concrete. The combination of standing water and rough pipe materials is not a combination I like. It's smooth plastic pipe. The reality is, in most cases, even when you got a 10-foot, 15, 20-foot belly with inches of water in it, it still is almost entirely up to the homeowner as to whether it manifests itself. And by that, I mean whether you're abusing the sewer line or not, with wipes, paper towels, grease, junk like that. A belly that small there, the only thing you would see consistently hanging up in it would be if you're putting quite a lot of cooking oil and grease down the line. That stuff will build up anywhere in your line, but it tends to concentrate around standing water just because it cools down rapidly and floats at the top of the water. All right, there's your clean out. So about where that 4-inch clean out I was talking about just a moment ago. So the line makes a turn here, and off it goes out to the road. And I had a really hard time getting good locates out there today, just based on the turns this line makes. I'll push out here one more time, and I'll try and pull up on city maps to get the exact, for it to go to the side street, straight out to the side, this is way too long. That would be only about a 75-foot shot to do that. That makes a hard enough turn there. It's either going out to 130th through the front fence line. It's possible it's angling off kind of towards the front right corner of the property. Either way, it's ending out in that area there. Yeah, that's a sewer line to be proud of right there. That is a fabulous looking line. There aren't very many repair or installers out there that would run a line that long and not goof it up everywhere. Very nice. And to boot on top of that, the line is spotless clean. You rarely get all these things in one. We're now going backwards into the home right now. Then right here, we're going to shoot up the vent stack. That light at the end of the tunnel you're looking at right now, we're looking up at the sky through the roof vent. If we kept going there, we'd pop out on the rooftop. And you're updated here end to end, at least for the main trunk line. That's a beautiful thing. You often, on this era of home, you usually only get one or the other. Either the interior is dealt with or the outside. You often don't get both. So, superb looking sewer line there. It is functioning properly at this time. Again, the belly there from around 82 to about 88 feet with about a 1/4 inch of water in it. Far too minor to need repairs. Even if that thing was the first 5 feet out of the gate here, it's still not a belly I'd recommend to fix on that minor. Oh yeah, sewer line's functioning properly at this time.